It's our Wednesday opportunity to have with us my friend, my mentor, a coach, Kody Bateman, who is the founder and chief visionary officer of Promptings and has been a dear friend of mine for the last I'm going to say 15 years, because, it's like anything. You have to start to develop those relationships and nurture those relationships. I've been around 17 years of Kody's teachings, and it's just, there's Farah. I'm seeing faces I haven't seen in a long time. So welcome to this call with Kody. I am recording this, so those of you who are unable to be with us right now can revisit this. And I'm excited about today's call because it's a focus on real estate. And I go back, Kim Rotz is on here. Kim hired me as a realtor 20 years ago, and we've been friends for 20 years. And I'm in tremendous amount of gratitude for the affiliation I've had with all of you on this screen today. And most of us have come through the real estate. Melinda met me. She's not a realtor, but she met me through the avenues of real estate by sending me a card that I threw in the trash and picked up. And the rest is history since 2008. So what we want to really talk about today, because as business owners, as entrepreneurs, gratitude is everything. Gratitude in your life is everything. This morning, I was at the gym. I finished my workout and I was walking out, and Darcy was at the front counter and she was working on something. I said, "What are you working on?" She goes, "I'm working on these water tests. And why do they have to have these water tests?" She goes, I'm in a negative space and I know I shouldn't be." And I said, "Well, what would happen if you would just say, wow, I'm grateful that I can write down the information they need. I can take the water tests out of the faucets. I can band it together. I can drive to the place." And she was like, "You're right, Gail." Just, what we focus on expands. So if we get in a space of negativity and frustration, if we stay there, guess what? That's what comes back to us. So if we can figure out that way to turn it around and find gratitude in that, we can really change the outcome of our hour, of our day, of our week, of our year, of our lifetime, because we turn that focus back into gratitude. And I had the privilege of being with Kody in Baltimore, and Melinda. Charlene was there too. We hung out in Baltimore and had the Gratitude Movement Road Tour. You might want to wonder what that is, but this is what it's all about. It's all about being in gratitude and sharing our gratitude, and knowing if we just want to learn that to uplift our lives in a positive way, hang around positive people. If we want to share that, because that's what we do, we learn to be in gratitude, and we can take that attitude of gratitude and we can share it with others and we can uplift them. There's been times when I've stopped sending cards, but as I've been sending cards, it just fills me. And one of the gals at CrossFit, and now she was pregnant and having a baby, and I took the time to ask her for her address. And just this morning, she's like, "I got your card and I'll keep it forever." Like, those are the kind of things that we get to do on a daily basis by sharing our gratitude with others. And then the third component is showing others how to share gratitude. And many of you are here on this call because you share gratitude. You want to show others how to share gratitude. And with that is a tremendous opportunity that Kody has provided for us in today's business world. So, being in gratitude, sharing gratitude, and then showing others how to share gratitude is really what it's all about. And that's why we're here to help you, whatever you want to be. If it's a premium gratitude sender, or if you're a casual gratitude sender, and if you want to share this with others to create another stream of income, Steve and I are in a very special place today because 17 years ago, we made a decision that it was worth sharing with others along the way, showing others how to share gratitude. And you're all here as the side effect or the result of that, showing others how to share gratitude. And so, Kody, I want you to talk with us a little bit today to inspire us of what that vision is for us as business owners, that we can create something that's very special for us in our lives as we be, share, and show. So please welcome Kody the call. Kody is the master facilitator of gratitude, and he's been doing this, acting on his promptings, the mission, helping millions of people reach out in kindness, acting on their promptings, and creating a vehicle for financial success. And I'm glad to be in the same room with you today, Kody.
Well, you're very kind, Gail. I appreciate that. And as I've said before on these calls, you're in incredible hands with Gail. She's an amazing coach and mentor, and she really will help you to transform your business, your personal life. Again, at the end of the day, we're about raising quality of life, like in general. It's all about quality of life. You know, what quality of life do I have? And how can I raise my quality of life? And I think a lot of times when we hear the word gratitude, it's an interesting word. The word gratitude is an interesting word because I think people out there in society, I mean, it's a great word. It's a cool word. Gratitude is a cool word, but I think a lot of times people kind of look over the word a little bit. It's one of those fluffy words, you know, it's one of those kumbaya words. It's one of, you know, I should be grateful. You should be grateful. And you're talking to people out there in the real world. Hey, you need more gratitude in your life. And they're not focused at that moment on gratitude. They're focused on all the things that went wrong in the last 5 hours. So a lot of times when you hear be more grateful, you know, it's like, I don't want to be more great. You know what I mean? It's like the word gratitude, everybody knows it's important. Everybody knows it's powerful, but I don't think even us on this screen, I have to remind myself all the time, I don't know that we fully comprehend the deep impact that gratitude has on your life. I think if we were more conscious about just how powerful gratitude is, we would do everything in our power to have it the core center of our life. The thing about gratitude is it's easy. Gratitude's easy. As soon as you get conscious about being in gratitude, it's a simple thing, but I think society kind of overlooks it. Like, yeah, you know, gratitude is something that I'm in when everything's going good, you know, and then I'll be thankful versus because most of the world, 87% of everything you take in is negative. So you're consciously in that negative world. So the concept of gratitude is great, but you're so focused on, you know, all the stuff going on in life that you kind of overlook the actual power of gratitude. So I like to use the sentence to be in the frequency of gratitude. Frequency is a key word because literally, you know, if you study quantum physics or neuroscience or anything like that, you learn a lot about frequencies, and frequencies really do kind of guide you. You're either in a low frequency, which is taking you in the wrong direction, or you're in a higher level of frequency, which takes you in more quality of life direction. So obviously you want to be in a higher frequency, and gratitude frequency is the key. It is the key. I mean, gratitude is associated with love and acceptance and all those things, but gratitude is the key. It's 100% the key. And it's as simple as saying, we did on at the event on Saturday, I issued a challenge to everybody at the events. A couple of you were there, so you heard me say this, but I'm going to issue the same challenge to all of you. If you did nothing more, if you got nothing more out of this conversation, like if nothing more, let's say you didn't do anything else with this group forevermore, but if you remember this one thing and you commit and do this one thing for the next 30 days, no matter what, and it's super easy to do, super, super easy to do. Do this one thing, and you can do it in 5 seconds or less every single morning when you wake up. One thing. And you do it religiously. You do it every morning as soon as you wake up for 30 straight days. It will transform the quality of your life within 30 days. You interested in what that is? It's easy, super easy to do. And again, those of you who are in Baltimore, you know what I'm going to say. At least I think you know what I'm going to say. The first thing when you wake up in the morning, in fact, I'll even add to it, the last thing before you go to bed at night, the first thing you think of when you wake up in the morning, and you can say it out loud if you want, and the last thing you think of as you lay your head down to go to bed at night are a few simple words. You say to yourself out loud, if you want, I am blessed beyond measure. That's it. That's it. Wake up in the morning, say, I am blessed beyond measure, and just allow that to sink in. When you go to bed, I am blessed beyond measure, and allow that to sink in. Write down those words. I am blessed beyond measure. Now, the reason I issue that challenge is because I'm trying to explain how simple gratitude is. But you got to do it. You got to do it. You can't do it for 1 or 2 days and then stop. That's so easy to do. You ought to be able to do it. Can everybody commit for the next 30 days? When you wake up in the morning, you say, I'm blessed beyond measure. When you go to bed at night, you say, I'm blessed beyond measure. No matter how you're feeling. You might have a horrible night. Maybe you had dreams of nightmares and stuff, whatever. Or you had a horrible day that day, whatever, and life got in the way and curveballs and devastating things happened. But no matter what, you say those words. I am blessed beyond measure. In fact, I talked to Gail this morning. I issued that challenge to Gail last Saturday. And when I got on the call with Gail this morning, she was out on her porch, drinking her coffee, 11 o'clock in the morning, beautiful breeze coming off of the lake. She's explaining this to me. What was the first thing you said about that morning? What'd you say, Kat? What'd you say, Gail?
I said, I am blessed beyond measure.
I'm blessed beyond measure. And you truly were in that frequency. It's literally like dialing the channel on a radio. When you say the words, I am blessed beyond measure, you're dialing into the frequency of gratitude, and it's just that easy. So anybody else want to comment on that? Melinda, you were there Saturday. I think Charlene, you were there Saturday. Have you taken my challenge seriously? I mean, it's only been a few days now. Are you using those words? Talk to us about it.
I have been, and I don't always say I'm blessed beyond measures. Once in a while, I say I am abundantly blessed, because I look around and or you drive through Kalamazoo and you see the homeless people living in the whatevers, and you just take so much of your life for granted until you're reminded that, everyone on this call, I know pretty much every one of them, they're all abundantly blessed. But you have to remind yourself, because it's so easy to get in the downward spiral. Yesterday was not the best day. I had Google issues. I had all kinds of things going, and I was getting frustrated. And then, I I was going through my desk, and this is what was, came the book I got over the weekend. And it reminded me of the weekend and the people I saw and how I felt when I left there. And I'm like, Melinda, it's just freaking Google. let it go, you know? And so we just have to be always reminding ourselves when things are not going at their best. Look around. You live in a house with air conditioning or heat or on the lake, whatever. We're all blessed. And so it's easy to do and it's easy not to do.
It is. Yeah. And I love how you put your own words to it. You like the word abundance, so you put that word in it. And you certainly, obviously we're all creative souls, so we certainly can put your own, but that meaning's got to be there. I'm blessed beyond measure, or I'm abundantly blessed, or however you want to say it. But it's just that simple. Charlene, what are your thoughts?
Well, if you can all hear me, I hope you can. I have so many thoughts. I absolutely loved Saturday. It was amazing. And Melinda blessed me, thanks to Gail asking her for the bag that I brought home. I hope you gave her one, Gail.
Well, when I see her, I have it. I have that bag here and she will get it. But
Good.
I thought,
She-
when you mentioned that you want, like, I'd like to have a bag like that. I like, Melinda, this is true friendship. Melinda, can she have your bag? She's like, sure, have the bag.
I'm going to interrupt you for a second. I was so excited to win because number one, I never win anything. Gail wins everything when we go places. And my ticket ended with the number 30.
That's right.
And that was my son's sports number. It was his race car number. And I said, Gail, my number ends in 30. And Kody drew it. So that was why I was so excited to win.
So she was kind enough to let me have her bag because she was going back with Gail. And I have taken that promptings bag yesterday to a client who is buying and selling with me. And she saw it, and she's 81 years old. She's by herself. And she said, Charlene, that is really cool. And I said, yes, it is. And you don't get it. I'm sorry. That's not something I'm giving up, but it's the promptings bag. So I loved every minute on Saturday. It was definitely a blessing for me. And I didn't want to leave, but I ended up having to show two different clients' houses, and it just was a terrific day. And Kody, I mean, do you still have this?
I do. Yes, I do.
Okay.
It's right here in my bag. Yes.
I think Gail used hers this weekend because I all of a sudden saw that she had did a little bit of DC touring, if I'm not mistaken. But
Yes, ma'am.
it was great. And I would love to invite people to a gratitude movement if you come back to the Washington, DC area and do it again, Kody. I'll tell you what, I have a couple people that wanted to go and couldn't. They were already committed. So thank you.
Well, I appreciate that. And again, it's just getting into the frequency of gratitude. There's simple things. Now, I think part of the reason why Saturday was such a beautiful experience for all of us is that we were dialed in to the frequency of gratitude all day long. I mean, the event itself, the lunch break, the breakfast thing we did, the whole day we were dialed into the frequency of gratitude. And I think that's important. So one of the things we talk a lot about here with the gratitude movement is there's three distinct things to being in a movement of gratitude. One is to be in gratitude. That's why we do simple little exercises like waking up and saying, I'm blessed beyond measure. We have lots of things we do. We have gratitude journals. We've got all kinds of stuff. And we got trainings and teachings and inspirations all centered around being in gratitude. And that gratitude frequency literally drives your manifestation techniques. It drives everything. It drives everything. I have a course called Promptings to Prosperity. It's 3 days where we teach the principles of using gratitude to get into a manifestation frequency so that you can live prosperity as you define it. So in that course, you define your own, what prosperity means to you, because prosperity means different things to different people. On this screen today, there's people of all age groups. There's people in their 20s, there's people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s that are on this call right now. And so every one of us have different ideas or different definition of what prosperity means to you at this stage in your life. And what we teach works for every single stage of life that you're in. So you get to define what prosperity means to you, and then you work on techniques to manifest that prosperity into your life. But gratitude is the core thing that's used all the way through. We have all the tools and things for you to do that. So 3 things here. You want to be in gratitude. You want to share gratitude with others. We have the best gratitude sharing device in the world, mechanism we call it. It's send out cards where you share gratitude. And we're real big on how you share gratitude. You know, and we talk about this in these events. We're real big on individual heartfelt prompting cards, what we call. Act on your prompting, reach out in kindness to others, 1 card at a time. And there's a key to that because you want to put all of your energy into sharing gratitude with another human being, 1 or 2 or maybe 3 times a day. If you get into the habit of that exercise, it transforms everything in your life. But there's a key to you. I have a prompting that I need to thank Gail for the evening that we had after the evening visiting with her and Steve, Jody and I. So I would come home or whatever, go to my phone and take pictures of us. And I really put my thoughts into my message. Gail and Steve, what a great friendship that we have developed over the years. We did just pick up right where we left off. It was a pleasure to visit with you for an hour that night. And we want you to know that your friendship means the world to us. You are our family. We love you dearly. Kody and Jody Bateman. So Gail, I just sent you the card.
You did.
There you
I
go.
felt it from your mouth to my ears to my heart.
But there's something to me taking that thought. We all have those deeper thoughts about our gratitude of other people. We just don't do much with them. So if you consciously do something with that thought, and that's why the mechanism works so well, because you pull up a card, you throw a picture on it, you quickly type that thought into words. It's that process that puts you into a deeper level of the frequency of gratitude. There's nothing else like it. You cannot do that with a system card. Now, system cards are cool. System cards, I say all the time, our system cards is where the system kind of does the sending for you. So if you want to send a card to 100 people at a time, that's a system card. If you want to drip on people where you schedule out, 5 cards a year to go to somebody to stay top of mind with them in your business, that's a system card. They're awesome. They work great. System cards allow you to expand your reach of gratitude to people. But heartfelt prompting cards are the secret sauce. Heartfelt prompting cards connect you at a deeper level with gratitude for you, the sender, and for the recipient. So we are really big in our program on combining heartfelt cards, 1 or 2 a day, and system cards, which might be multiple cards over time. And if you do both of those things, you are at the highest possible level of sharing gratitude with others and making sure that everybody in your network feels appreciated at the right time. That brings you massive success in your business, massive success, everywhere else. So be in gratitude, share gratitude with others using our mechanism, and then show others how to be in gratitude and share gratitude with others. There's 3 pieces to this. Today, we're talking about all 3. We're talking about being in gratitude. We're talking about sharing gratitude. I know there's some stories today that are going to be told about people sharing gratitude. And we're talking about showing others how to do it. Right now, this call is about showing others how to do it. We want you to be involved with us to show others how to do it. How many of you would be interested in building your own side business, a gratitude sharing business? If you went into a restaurant and you asked, let's say you went somewhere and let's say you went to a B&I. Not that they would let you do this in a B&I. I'm just trying to think of a network room where there's 100 people in the room and you have 30 seconds to be in the front of the room to get people's interest. And if you said the words, "Hey, we are expanding in this area. We are in the gratitude sharing business. We have the best gratitude sharing tools in the world to help you in your businesses and in your personal life. And we are wondering if anybody would be interested in building their own gratitude sharing business where you can make extra income doing that. Now, the people in the room may not be interested in another biz op, but I guarantee you you're gonna spark their interest on what the heck is that? What is a gratitude sharing business? I've never heard of that before. That's what we have here. We have the ability to do that. So now if you can be in gratitude every day, share gratitude with others every day, and spend a little bit of time showing others how to do the same, create a side income of money, that's the whole gamut of what we're doing. Now, some of you may not be interested in the last part. That's okay. But we want to make sure you know that all three of those parts are here. Today, we're showing you that there's an opportunity to share with others as well. And I think that's what makes this a gratitude movement. Listen, I tell you, I've had a lot of success in my life. I've had a lot of failure in my life. And Gail and Melinda and those have been around. They've seen I've tried different things. I've tried different programs. I've tried different products. Some failed, some succeeded, some exploded with success. But that's what being an entrepreneur is. That's what you do. But I've had a lot more success in life than I've had failures, but I've had lots of failures. Okay. And I'm telling you that the key to my success in life always stems around being in the frequency of gratitude. Always. If I'm in the frequency of gratitude, I shine. Like I'm guided in the right place. I make the right decisions, do the right stuff. Now, that doesn't mean life doesn't get in the way. I can be in the frequency of gratitude. I'm still going to have curveballs, because part of human nature is everything works in seasons. Look at the weather patterns. Everything works in seasons. Most people are probably living in a place where there's distinct seasons. There's a winter, there's a spring, there's a summer, there's a fall. Everybody's in a place where a storm comes in, but the sun's still shining. So even when you're in the frequency of gratitude, storms will come in and they will set you aside. But if while the storms are there, you're staying in that frequency of gratitude, the storms clear, the sun shines, and you're back in that thriving place. That's what we do here. We keep people in that energy all the time. And so there's great opportunity in that. So that was a super long answer to your question, but there you go.
Well, so I'll piggyback on that in the respect of, when I got started, and I told you this earlier today on our call, I said, the message, this be, share, and show message that you've created is totally high resonating in my spirit. And it would have resonated, it did resonate, because it's kind of coming full circle. Back in 2007, when this came upon me, when I got a card in the mail and I said, whoa, I need this, I shared it years. I think Kim was my manager. So Kim, we set up lots of realtors and it wasn't necessarily for us to build this send out cards business. It was really a mechanism that we fell in love with that worked, because guess what? When you connect with human beings at a personal level, they respond. And when they respond, you're remembered. And when you're remembered, you do business. That was just the what you send out comes back. And that was the infinity that we experienced back then in utilizing this service. So it's no different than when you watch a great movie and you tell everybody about it. It's not that you're going to go be a movie producer, but guess what? Like you said, if you're in a room and you said, hey, how about this gratitude? Would you like to show others how to share gratitude with others? And they may not resonate with that, but you know what? I'm 90% of the room would resonate with, well, I want to do that. So what did you just do? You didn't have it. Maybe it wasn't your intention to go build this side business at first, but people started responding and they started to like want to do it too. And then guess what? Now I have a gratitude sharing business that I show others how to share gratitude. And that's kind of where we're at today. And Kody, one of the slides that you shared Saturday was, what is it worth to you? And it's just this slide that it's up there, and it's, what is it worth to you? And then here's the questions. And I want you to think about these questions. You're in business, you're realtors, you have clients, you have a desire to connect with them ongoing after the sale of a home or during the sale of the property as you're building the relationship. What is this worth to you? To have all your contacts organized for ultimate appreciation. What would that be worth to you? I know for me, I had 75 closed deals in the pile on my desk and nowhere to put those people. So that to me was worth a ton. That was worth everything to me, to have all my contacts in one place. What is it worth to you if you had a lasting impact on up to 150 people? What is it worth to you if you paid the lowest price to do so? We're all about, getting value, right? Having value, but having it maybe not cost an arm and a leg, right? We're looking for opportunities that are within our budget, let's say. But what is it worth to you to do that at the lowest price? And what is it worth if you were educated on generating appreciation and referral business? That's what we're doing right now. You're being educated on what gratitude is all about and how it can apply in your life to move you forward into what it is you desire. What if you could dramatically enhance your personal development? There's so many options out there. Just Google personal development. You have tons of options. But here at Promptings, we have a very special way. Kody mentioned the Promptings to Prosperity, the pathway. What is it, Kody? I took it. The Promptings to Prosperity pathway.
Right.
The 3-day event, being able to go do that, to attend that, and look at, here I am 4 months later, and I'm reignited into what my passion is. When you can find your passion and your purpose and that moves you forward, is it worth it? What's it worth to you? If you could easily make a person's day, that's what we do every day. The mechanism we use, it makes people's day every day. I could tell you dozens and dozens of stories. And what if you could feel that positive energy every day? I went to CrossFit. It's my thing. I love my CrossFit peeps. And Crystal's a realtor. And it was about a month ago, I sent her daughter a card. She's a softball. She plays second base for the Alabama Crimson Tide. And it was her 21st birthday. So I sent a card, and just the response that came from that was amazing. And here we are weeks later, and Crystal still talks about that card. But I sent her a card. We'd worked out together last Monday, a week from last Monday, and I sent her a card and I thanked her for her positivity. And yesterday she says, Gail, I just want to tell you a story. She says, I've been doing QuickBooks for my husband all these years, and I finally just bit the bullet and did the online, and it's been a mess for me. It's been a tremendous mess. And Sean came in with the mail, and I looked at him and I said, I don't need any more mail. Like, I don't need anything else to do. And so he said, oh, I'm sorry. And she's like, I'm sorry too. It's just, this is where I'm at. She told me, he put the mail down, and I started to throw things. She like going through the mail, throwing things in here. And then she found the card I sent her. And she's, and like, even in her storytelling to me, she says, I opened your card and I was like, oh, like I said, Crystal, that's what we get to do for people. when we just send out that little bit of gratitude, and we get to be at ease in people's life. We get to let them go "Ah," and take that breath out. So what is it worth to you to be able to have something in your business that would allow you to create that energy, that frequency in other people? Because I'm telling you, when you operate in that, magic happens. I tell a story about the Gamshow family. You know, one card sent back in 2011 to the winners of the Taste of the Chamber. Kody's written about him in his book, Power of Human Connection, and another powerful read if you're into personal development. And this family has become family to us. Over the years, 12 homes sold. And one of the families, we helped them buy their house, and then we helped them sell, and guess where they moved? They moved to Annapolis, to Maryland, Severna, I think it is, Charlene, right up there by Annapolis. And when we were in Maryland last weekend, something came up. We were going to get together and we couldn't get together. So we went to dinner after the event Saturday, and we were 6.5 miles from their house. Because you know why? I can look in my contacts and I can find people's addresses because I've put a lot of people in there over the years. So I put in 101 Tarks Avenue, 6.5 miles away. I said, we cannot not go knock on their door. Well, Steve and Melinda sat in the truck because they were like, well, you just go see how it goes up there at the front door. And I rang the doorbell, and I could see them through the glass window, and they came, and you know, when they realized that it was me standing there, like the whole family just opened the door and welcomed us in. Oh, and then Melinda and Steve came in. Melinda got to meet this family, and we sat and we just visited they were getting ready to go to bed. They had just showered, they were settling in, the kids, but they were so grateful to be able to see us because, you know, they live in the frequency of gratitude of who we are, and we live in the frequency of gratitude of who they are to us. And there's no amount of like when I sent that card back in 2011, I wasn't envisioning knocking on their door in Maryland 12 years, 14 years into the future. But that's the power of what we have here. So what is it worth to you?
So Gail, if I can kind of add to that and get along with the messaging, think about what's going on in the world right now. We talk about this in the Gratitude Movement webinar, and it's in all of our presentations where we talk about the pain that we're all experiencing in society, where society, for whatever myriad of reasons, the focus is on how to separate people. And we feel the pain of that. And social media is not helping because people comment with controversy. They comment with conflict. They want to get into arguments. And so there's all kinds of negativity that you're scrolling every day. And the focus is on how to separate people. You know, religion separates, race separates, you know, ideologies separate people. And there's all this focus on separation. But yet all of us ought to focus on how we're all the same. We're all the same in that we want to feel like we matter. That family you went to, they, at the end of the day, want to feel like they matter. You show up at the door, they realize, you know what, we matter to somebody. And you know, they matter to you. And so that's what we're doing here is we're focusing on how we're the same. We just share gratitude and appreciation with others, focus on how we're the same. That's the only way this world comes together, folks. And I'm crazy enough to believe that we have a solution to bring the world back together. I'm crazy enough to believe that we can do that. So this movement is far bigger than advancing your business or making side income or any of it. It's far bigger than your personal success. It's far bigger than all of it. Those things are benefits of it, but we literally can be a solution to bring the world back together again. And I'm crazy enough to believe we can do it. I truly believe, in my heart of hearts, I truly believe there is far, far more goodness in this world than there is bad. I just believe it. Think of everybody that's on this screen. We're all in the energy and the frequency of goodness right now. We all have stories of how we're sharing goodness and sameness and love and caring and gratitude with others. I believe that there's 100 times more of that in the world than there is bad, but media and social media and everything else focuses on the bad. So we're exposed to the negative side of what's going on in society, but there's so much more good that's going on, and we want to get that message out there. It is a mission. This is a mission. It's far bigger than making money and being successful or any of that. It's a mission of goodness. Bring kindness and goodness to the world, because, listen, we're born that way. I tell the story all the time. I think I told it on Saturday. If you get on an airplane and and it happens to me all the time. I get on an airplane, I sit in a seat, and there's usually a young family in front of me that has a young child, like 1 to 2 years old. All the time I get that. And when they're holding that child and that child looks up and looks behind the seat and looks at me, what does that child do? You've probably experienced it too. That child will lock eyes on my eyes, and the first thing that child usually does is smiles. And then they don't take their focus off of you. They keep their focus on you, and you smile back. They initiate your giddiness. They look at you, they're cute, they smile at you, you smile back at them, which makes them smile again at you, and then the little fun starts back and forth. Happens all the time with little children. What does that teach you? It teaches you that we're born that way. We're born with that in us. It's in our DNA to connect with human beings. The world we live in is trying to separate us from our own DNA, our own chemical makeup. And being in gratitude every day gets you back to acting like that little child in the mouth of babes, as it says in the scriptures. I mean, I don't know. I get so excited about this kind of stuff, and I have a tendency to go off on these little tangents, but I just hope you feel the energy of what we're talking about. If you're involved with the Promptings Gratitude movement, you can be part of this energy, and it benefits every area of your life.
Amen. And I've lived it, I breathed it, I understand it. My husband and I have made millions of dollars through being in gratitude. That's all I can say is being in gratitude has prospered us tremendously. And it's given us those things that aren't money, it's the friendships, it's the love, it's the energy there of those people. And Charlene and I met on through a real estate group years ago, and we kind of went back through the messaging on Saturday and decided, what was it, 2017?
It was June 2016, and then I called you in November of 2016.
Okay, and you've been using the mechanism. You've been in gratitude, and you have some stories. And I asked you today, I was thankful that you were going to be here, and I said, would you share just one story of how this mechanism has impacted you personally and or professionally? I don't know which story you're going to tell, but just share with us.
So the number one story I'll share with you all is I have 4 grandchildren. 2 are in Houston. I'm in Northern Virginia, and 2 is in Warrenton, which is about 40 minutes towards West Virginia for me. And every time I go and see my 5-year-old granddaughter, she greets me at the door. She grabs me by the hand. She goes, "Grandma, I got to show you something." We go to her desk, and she pulls out, I swear this is the truth. She pulls out a card that I sent to her with a picture of her and I. That's a send out card. Has my name on the back, has a picture of her and I in the front, or another picture. And I literally take a picture of that and I text it to Gail, and I said, "Gail, look, she still has these cards." She's so excited to get a card in the mail. And I love, by the way, Kody, I meant to tell you on Saturday, I love the color envelopes. I love the color. They stand out for the mailman. And then I have the 2 grandchildren in Houston, and I send them send out cards. Now they don't always get their mail because their mailman's not terrific, quite frankly, but it catches up eventually. But the other story that I have to tell you is I'm Buffini trained for real estate. So for me, notes are huge, notes and gifts. And so I use the gifts for the brownies and etc. And the other story I'll tell you, I have a very good friend of mine by the name of Patricia Rebel. She's a journalist. She's now a realtor. She lives here in Northern Virginia, grew up in Maryland. And as a journalist, she was lucky enough to interview the first President Bush, the one that was the older of the two. And you can look her up. She interviewed him, and his number one thing that he did was he wrote personal notes to people every single day. When she interviewed him, the interview that's still out there in Google or whatever talks about him writing notes to people. That was how he stayed in touch. Even when he was the director of the CIA, he still wrote notes. So that gratitude really does work. I send out cards for all of my house anniversaries. I use it for all the birthday. I'm using it for sympathy. And I'm going to write a thank you note to Governor Abbott of Texas for finally getting the power on for my daughter in Houston. I literally am going to send him a send out card because with a picture of my 2 grandchildren, because I want him to know I really appreciate that they can go back to their house. And I just feel really blessed with and gratitude. And I'm telling you again, if any of you could go to this, and I don't know how often you're going to have it, Kody, to this event, please do. It's so well worth it.
Thank
Well,
you, Charlene.
I'll tell you, just for y'all to know, one of our next big events is a virtual event, so you can attend it from anywhere. It's our level 1 promptings training. It's called the Prompting Seminar, and if you know an affiliate, they can give you a free ticket to it as well. And it's 4 hours of promptings, the promptings way to a personal development plan. And so all these stories are shared, and it's just a lot of fun to be involved with that. And it's virtual, so you know, you jump on it from your own home. So
Yes, thank you. And reach out. If you're watching this on a replay and it's after that event, just reach out. If you're resonating at a high level with this conversation that's gone on today, and you are in gratitude and that's who you are at your core level, you probably fit right into this movement that's going on, the gratitude movement that's going on. So get back with the person who has shared this video with you, because I plan on sharing this out, and ask them how you can get involved. Maybe you want to be a casual gratitude sender, or maybe you're all in and you want to be that premium sender and you want to show others how to share gratitude. This is the community to plug into. And Kody, thank you again for your time, to spend your time with our group here today, and for your vast, not only the knowledge that you have, but the frequency and connection you have to what you're sharing out in the world. Because by you sharing it with us and us sharing it with others, it multiplies out and comes right back to us. So thank you. Those of you who are here: Amy, Melinda, Farah, Stacy, Patsy, and Marcia, Charlene, Kim, Nathan was on here. Thank you for being here and for investing your time today into hearing the message, and let us know how we can help you move forward from here and how you want to be involved. So thank you, Kody.
thanks for letting me be on here with you. This is it's an honor for me to be part of this, and I just appreciate all of you so much. And I don't know if we're going to do another. Are we doing another?
I
What's your
think
next call?
at least next Wednesday. And as your availability is, but I plan on and going forward this Wednesdays, like Melinda, Wednesdays is your promptings day, right?
Yeah.
Wednesdays at 1 o'clock, we'll meet together and we're going to bring people in. This is where you get to bring others in to share with them the message through others who, like us, who have been doing this for some time. And, we're helping people get started and we're helping them move through and show others how to share gratitude as well. So this is your place, Wednesdays, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Mhm.
So Gail, just an idea, if we do this again next week, I'm happy to come back and do this with you on here and your guests. I mean, most of you who know me, I'm very interactive when it comes to teaching and training. I love to have interaction. And so, listen, if there's any questions that you have for me as the founder of this movement and the guy that started this whole thing and how it all came about, if there's any particular questions you have for me, maybe Gail, we could get a list of questions, and I'd be happy to get very personal with each of you individually. I see names on here. I see like a Sheila Barundia. So I see a picture of Sheila on here, but I don't know who Sheila is. And so obviously I'd like to get to know you better and what your interests are. And, and I could say that, Stacy, I wonder what's going through your mind right now. So I'd love to interact more personally with what your personal interests are or questions are, or anything like that. It's an honor for me to kind of tag team with one of the best coaches out there, which is Gail Zintek. This is fun for me. So however I can help, I'm here for you.
Thank you.
Yep. Thanks.
That's awesome.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Cody.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
All right.
Bye.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Gail.
See you on the next one. Let's go.